Hello, my dear students. A very good morning to all of you. I hope you all are doing well. So, today we are going to start our next chapter, which is cell structure and function. Okay, so topic to be covered in this chapter topics are introduction of cell, number of cell, shapes and size of cell, parts of cell, where we will discuss about cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. And finally, we will discuss about plants and animal cell. So all these topics we will discuss in this chapter one by one. All right. So now what is cell? What is the meaning of cell? So cell means a room or small block. Now, when we come to living organisms, what is the cell? So, it is the building blocks of all living organisms. So, now what do you mean by building blocks of all living organisms? So, just think of a building. You see, how is that building made of? You know that building is made up of with the help of brick. Okay, so each brick they are like block, and all the bricks or block together construct the entire building. This is only example for you. So we can say that bricks are building blocks of this building. So, in a similar way, when we talk about living organisms, whether it's human being or it's a huge elephant or a bird or even the plant which we see around us. So, all living organisms they are also made up of something. So, that is a basic unit. That something is nothing but a cell. Okay. So now you can imagine that cell as the brick. That means multiple cell together constitute the body of the human beings. Now what we have to see it, what exactly cell, how exactly it is look like, and how exactly it performs so many different activities. So we are going to talk about all that in this chapter. Okay. So the cell is a very vast subject, but here we will talk about the very basic, because further detail you will study about cell in your higher classes. So let's now try to define what is cell. So a cell is a structural and functional unit of life. So what do you mean by structural and functional? So when I say structural unit, that means the structure of a living organisms is basically made up of the cells. So many cells together constitute a human body. It constitutes a structure of a plant and any other organisms. And when I say functional unit, that means all the function that are being done by living organisms. For example, inside our body, so many activities takes place. For example, digestion takes place, respiration takes place, circulation takes place, and so many process happens inside our body. So how those activities happens, how these performance by living organisms, so they are also the basic unit of the cell. So cells actually performs to all these function, and That's why the entire body perform these functions. So cells are the structural as well as functional unit of every living organisms. So students, now the question is, how was the cell discovered? So Robert Hooke in 1665 discovered cells. He was the first scientist who discovered cell. So Robert Hooke designed self-designed microscope, and with the help of this microscope he have to see smaller microorganisms. Because this microscope is more efficient, and he put in a lot of technical efforts and he improved that the efficiency of microscope, means self-designed microscope. And then he observed a large number of objects with the help of this self-designed microscope. And when once he observed a cork is nothing but bark of a tree. So he tried to observe this cork under the self-designed microscope. Okay. And then he observed spaces contained by walls. You can see here this type of structure he observed. Means he took uh, a very thin slice of cork, very thin slice was taken, and this thin slice was observed using this microscope, means using self designed microscope. Then he observed it was like a honeycomb structure. Okay. And empty spaces which were surrounded by walls. You can see here this type of structure. This is a honeycomb like structure, and here is empty spaces which is surrounded by a walls. Now this cork was basically a dead tissue, because a bark of a tree which was once living. So that time it was dead. So what Robert Hooke was observed, this actually the empty cells, empty cell wall of the dead plant tissue. Since this cork was the dead tissue, so the cells was also dead. So it was like a empty spaces surrounding by the cell wall. And then Robert Hooke started observing living cells, and then he concluded that every living organisms is made up of such compartments. So they, I mean, when they observe, when they started observe to living cells, they found in living cells were not empty spaces. Instead, they were filled some juicy like structure. You can see here, and you can comparison between a bark of a tree and a living cell. In a bark of a tree, you have seen a empty spaces here, but here is a juicy like structure filled in living cells. So he said that all living organisms is made up of small compartment which are surrounded by walls, and the compartment filled with some juice. But in the dead tissue like cork, it was empty inside, and we just have the wall outside. So this was the observation of his own design microscope. Now what do he called these compartments? These compartments. So he named these small compartments as cell, because the cell is was a Latin word, and cell was actually a Latin word, and its meaning was a small room. So now because of the structure of the cell, he named it cell. So that's how the term cell was coined. But Robert Hooke did not know about the any internal structure of the cells, because in internal structure of cell we needed to see more powerful microscope, and this was not present that time. more powerful microscope was not present that time, therefore he could not know about anything in the internal structure of cell. And however, later the internal parts of cell will gradually discovered by the different scientists, because at that time better microscope are available, so the scientists found new detail, and today we know the entire structure of the cell. So this is how cell was discovered. So Robert Hooke was the first scientist who discovered cell. So now, when cells was discovered, over a time there was many scientists discovered the details about internal structure of cells, about the various parts of the cells or various function of the cells. So many other things discover with time. So there came the cell theory. So a complete theory came of the cells. So some of the advancement which happened of the discoveries with some things like this. So firstly, you already know about this. Robert Hooke was the first scientist who discovered cell in 1665. Alright. Then again after a couple of years, Robert Brown in 1833 he discovered nucleus in the cell. So nucleus is another very prominent structure which is present inside the cell. It is a smaller, but it plays a very important role in the cell. Later, uh, uh, the two scientists, Schleiden and Swan, in 1839, they proposed a theory, and this theory is known as cell theory. Okay, so this cell theory describe a few points regarding the cells, regarding the properties of cells. And again after a couple of years, in 1855, there was a scientist called Virchow, and Virchow gave some modifications to the existing cell theory, which is given by Schleiden and Swan. So Virchow gave a modification, and Virchow said that cells arise from pre-existing cells. That means new cells that will arise or they will come originate from already existing cells. So these was the some advancement in the field of a cell. So let's quickly look at the cell theory. So what are the points of the cell theory? Cells are the structural and functional unit of life. So as I earlier told you how cells are the structural and the functional unit of a life. The second point is all organisms made up of cells. So all the living organisms are made up of the cells. The third point is all cells arises from pre-existing cells only. That means cells cannot come out of their own. So whatever cells are existing, from those cells only new cells will be formed. So these were the three basic points given by the cell theory.